Welcome to CCRPG, where we open up our virtual table and play games with some good friends. I'm Bob, and I'll be running Lancer. I'm joined today by Jay, portraying Graham Demaree.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy, portraying Gene Stroud.
Where am I? Why am I here?
Todd, portraying Nestor Nembus.
Salutations.
And Chuck, portraying Jake McCloud.
Wait, that's Graham's last name?
Previously, we've seen the members of the Quartz begin their attempt to liberate the Amethyst from the Noblesse affair. Using a combination of subtlety and surprise, they freed Tilton's group of agitators. Now, with extra hands on their side, they seek to arm them. Having sent a group to reinforce Cassius, we rejoin our pilots as they work their way towards a well-defended armory. Welcome back, pilots.
Hey.
Yo.
Hey.
So, as we move back in to the Amethyst, we find your pilots moments after where we left them. There was some hubbub, there was some fighting. You freed some people, you moved some people, you rummaged around for some items. We lost a little bit of stuff in Foundry. So just to confirm, Jake, you picked up one of the armor / bodysuits that wasn't ruined of the more heavily armored guards, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, cool. So I have sent you the stats for that, so you can go ahead and add that to your character.
Sweet. I got armor, or HP.
And I believe that we left off at the end of last time we played with Gene remarking that because he has a more intimate knowledge of the various byways of the ship, he might know a way to get your group there unseen.
I mean, look, I need to know all the escape routes. They don't need to know that.
Well, let's pick right back up where we left off as we zoom back into our team. What do we see you all doing?
Real quick, were there any leftover, gas grenades, cylinders?
Yes, one of you took it.
I took it.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that. Okay, cool.
Look,
So,
I
yes,
remember
Gene
what happened
has
when I got
one.
hit by it.
Is the equipment armor and everything on the guys that got grenaded just completely ruined?
The guys who got grenaded, their armor is shredded. That's why you aren't able to salvage any from them. Maybe a sidearm or a weapon here or there is available off of them, but that was part of what was scavenged by the group that went to go get shields. So the equipment locker you broke into, as well as what gear could be salvaged, was put together into a single strike team that could move confidently through the ship to try and help Cassius hold the shield room.
Cool.
Sounds good. Can I take the gas mask and tank with me?
Yeah,
that I
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I will do so.
And just
it is bulky, and because the gas mask and equipment don't fit your look, it will be incongruous with your current setup of gear.
Okay, I can. I'll say, if we end up trying to, if we end up trying to go incognito again in a more public area, I can leave this behind. But I'm going to bring it with me for now. Just in case.
Heck, we could probably use it oxygen for an explosion later, too.
maybe use that science background.
Possible to bring something up, maybe.
I have a skill triggering explosions. This is important to me.
I do too. I kind of thought, like he's in the lab, like he's sort of like a bumbling scientist in the lab, like blowing stuff up accidentally. So he's gained some experience in how to blow things up. So I got the blow something up Skill trigger.
It's the penicillin of explosions.
So what you're saying is if we don't blow something up by the end of this mission, we would done something wrong.
I mean, ideally, there should be a few explosions.
I don't think blowing things up as a scientist means you're a good scientist. I'm gonna come out and say it.
I never said it did.
Well, you could be a weapon scientist.
I mean,
I
Nestor
feel like
out
incidental explosion was the term used.
Yeah. It's definitely incidental explosions.
Nestor out there curing people of life with his explosions.
He doesn't charm doors, he explodes them.
Is this in the same category as healing bullets?
Sure. Yeah, we gotta make a healing explosion.
Oh God. Okay.
Anyway.
And just to clarify something that happened last time, didn't Torsay mention that if we can find a comms room or something that they could take over, that she could provide support as well?
Yeah, if you they have brought up, and I mean this is actually something you all talked about with Cassius as well. If you can find a kind of like auxiliary command room or auxiliary control room and take it over, Torsay can set up there and provide support for the remainder of this part of the mission.
Okay.
But yeah, it's about you guys setting priority for what you want to utilize moving forward. You know that your ultimate objective is to free your other teams and take back control of the bridge, like take command of the vessel again. So it's about how y'all want to accomplish that.
I think right now getting to the armory might be the most important, so we can at least get our current group armed, and then we can go on the rescue missions, like for the special ops team, right? Would we agree with that, guys? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lead the way as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, we're looking for Ewer Sill. Is that right?
Ewer Sill is the Spec Ops team.
Leader, yeah.
Yeah, so he is closer to the fore of the ship. So that's like not the same direction you're traveling right now, but is along the way if you wanted to make a diversion to try and free his group on the way to the bridge.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do then. Get that armory.
But yeah, the armory nearby is what Gene said he could probably find you a way to.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I would like a pilot check to determine how well this goes.
Let's see here. So is this pilot check is this pilot check essentially for on the way or prior to on the way? Essentially is the question.
This is for taking you all towards the armory. So you can narrativize this however best fits the skill trigger you're trying to use. Okay. This is kind of like a semi-zoomed out montage style thing. So it's like, now, you know, we see some scenes of Gene directing this group where it needs to go. So that opens you up to accomplish this a variety of ways and choose the one that suits how Gene would use his skills best.
Well, I think in this situation, I think the most likely the way, since we're specifically taking routes that Gene would know, that it is unlikely that, you know, like our invaders, they would have a general layout of the ship, but they wouldn't know all of the sideways. This seems more like an act unseen or unheard. We caused a little chaos, and we want to not be found while we're moving towards the armory, so they don't know which way we've left, if and when, more like when they find us.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's see an act unseen or unheard then. This is going to be a normal difficulty pilot check.
All right, let's see how today's rolls start. 11.
A 11 is a success.
That's a success.
You don't discount those successes. You want those. And this is good because that kind of represents the fact that it is because of your bonus, because you're good at acting unseen or unheard, that you're able to help them pull this off. We see Jean do this effectively. What does that look like to people?
Jean is kind of like, he would move towards the front and he would point out to the groups different pathways that they should take as we're moving towards the armory, that, you know, as you're walking by, you wouldn't quite notice them, but if you actually take a look, there's like walkways that lead off into different directions, and unless you actually walked through them, you wouldn't know that they may bend towards parts of the ship that you wouldn't expect, or head up or down to different levels unless you actually walked them, because they just don't look like it because of how weirdly designed the ship is.
Or
right?
You might even like cut into a room that you don't think has another exit, but actually there's another door in there that leads out into a different hallway and stuff like that. That's like, oh, that's just there for maintenance, but we can use it to like move past a hallway we don't need to travel down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's perfect. I want one person in the team to make a supportive check, which means that while Jean is doing this successfully, he is getting you from place to place. I need one other member of the party to do something while traveling to support this movement. So that could be things like keeping a lookout or looking for something specific or helping Jean do something or stopping a certain kind of threat. It can be what you determine it to be, but I want someone else to have an action during this trip.
I have something, I think. Could
Okay.
I sort of keep a lookout and look for any sort of traps or incoming guards that might be coming along our way as Jean's navigating us through the ship? I was thinking like read a situation.
Okay, so this is important. So read a situation is about looking for subtext, motives, threats in a situation or person. You're not really in a situation or dealing with a person, right? That would be more like a spot check to notice something. Okay. Read a situation is you're in a situation. Can you read the subtext and threats of what's going on? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I was focusing just on like threats in general, but that makes sense. Yeah.
I could do a spot check.
All right. We want to see Nestor helping out here while Jean is navigating.
So Nestor will kind of like while Jean's taking the lead, Nestor will hang back a little bit towards the tail end of the group, and he's just gonna be keeping a lookout, seeing where possible patrols might be coming through, if there are signs of recent activity in the area. He would alert Jean to that, that kind of thing. So he's trying to spot the details that would alert us to potentially being discovered.
Okay. This is interesting because, Nestor, go ahead and roll. I want to see how effective this is.
All right. I will roll, and I rolled a 12.
Okay. With a success, Nestor, this is precautionary for a majority of the trip there. But as the group of you approach the armory, Jean has to start slowing and because you're traveling with a fairly large group, diverting people into areas where they'll stay unseen, even in large groups. And you have to divert around so that you're not coming at the armory from the main path. Because of that, as you're getting closer to the armory, Nestor, you notice something that's a little bit surprising to you. You're passing through like a service hallway that goes past the armory because you're going to come around at it from the other side. And as you do, you hear some voices.
I'll hold up. I'll tap Jean on the shoulder and say, hold just a moment. I think I hear someone speaking.
As you look around because this is a success, you just get this. As you search around for the source of these voices, you realize that because you're working through a service hatchway, some of the life support and like vents and whatnot come through this area. You're hearing the echoed voices of some of the guards who are guarding the armory echoing into this room.
I'll point out the vents and I'll say, Jean, any chance these vents go into the armory itself?
Would I know the answer to this? I guess
that
is
would
the question.
be a more difficult sort of knowledge check. This would be a like, how well does Jean know the complete schematic of the amethyst? If you wanted to try and make a check for it.
I would just be doing a flat d20.
And it would be with difficulty, so it would be minus a d6.
The closest I would have would be spot if I was specifically looking to see if I could like identify it from where we are. I just don't know if visually I would be able to tell. Do you think I would be able to use spot?
I think spot would be spotting where this is if you had something to reference. This is more like a memory thing. Like, do you, in your mind, know where all these vents go?
I think I would do a quick memory check. So I think applying difficulty to this would be appropriate. So I'll just roll a 1d20 minus a 1d6.
Sure.
I think a negative 3 says no.
I think a negative 3 is a failure. Jean, you think there is definitely a possibility they could go into the armory. You are fairly sure that the because you've let's put this into context. You've thought about various ways out, like, oh, can I use these ducts for things to like move around in case of emergencies, right? And you've largely discounted it. But like now you're like, I don't know, maybe I could use them. And you're not really sure why you didn't think of them before. Part of you is wondering is like, should I have been thinking of these as an additional egress?
Yeah. I like look at Nestor and I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
possibly.
I was just thinking, if there's a way for us to get into the armory past the guards, we can try to grab some weapons and catch them unawares.
I think that they're going to hear us coming from a mile away if we try to come in through the ducts.
Well, not all of us, certainly. Maybe the smaller and more sneaky of us.
I see where he's coming from. I don't think Gene thinks it's going to reasonably work. At least not with the knowledge that he has. We could end up wasting time on a mission that could get us someone trapped in the ducts. That's Gene's opinion of the matter.
Well, that wouldn't be fun either. I will defer to Gene's judgment in this matter.
That is Gene's judgment based on a -3 roll. I don't know. It seems like a waste of time.
Anyone else have any thoughts?
I mean, I'm kind of the same mind. I would rather play it safe and not alert anyone where we are than to take a chance this early on.
I thought Jake would be all for it. It sounds like something from one of one of those Astro Jammin' movies.
Maybe he's just shy about it because literally last mission, you guys just talked about, you all roasted him for making you do this.
We did. And now I'm suggesting the very same thing.
Look, this is definitely from
Bit
the
of a
Space
double
Hard.
standard.
This is from Astro Space Hard movies, but I don't think this is the place for that.
Gene, you picked up that riot grenade earlier, right?
Yeah, I still have it.
Well, if the voices are coming from the vent, and if we toss that grenade down the vent towards the other end, the smoke would start coming out of it. At the very least, they would attempt to leave the room, and we can be on the other side of that door, right?
I think so. Gene would probably know how far it is from where we are to, like, the front of, or where we're going, right?
You're like a bulkhead or two away. You think that because you can hear the voices so close, it is either beyond the next wall or beyond a hallway that's beyond the next wall. It's like either a room or like a room and a half away from where you are right now.
Okay, I say, yeah, that's reasonable. Do we think we can get set up and then toss the grenade in and let it go?
Yeah, can I take off the vent cover that we're talking about? Is that
so yeah, Graham, you walk over to the part of the utility hallway that steps up to where that vent is, and as you get a closer look at it, you're like, okay, I could reasonably remove that. You do think so, and as you get closer, you start hearing what they're talking about. Rock, do you have anything that would help you catch what they're saying or what they're talking about?
The closest things are read a situation and word on the street.
Okay. So I'm going to have you do a flat check just to see how much of their conversation you get. But actually, I don't think that's interesting. I think you get some of the conversation just because you don't have a skill that lets you hear more. But I'm going to actually have you roll a read a situation to see if you can catch from the limited amount you hear what they're talking about more widely. Like what is the subtext? Yeah. What is this conversation about? Not just what the words are.
A 9.
Okay. With a 9, Graham, you walk up and you start hearing them talk about some things, but they're using lingo that you've not really heard before. You start hearing them talk about things like, these guide lists. They start calling, they seem to, in a derogatory manner, be referring to your group as torps. You don't know what that means. Generally, the resistance, they're calling you torps and you have no idea what the hell that means. But you get, you don't pierce the subtext, but you get the text of their conversations meaning, which is these are two guards that are on duty having a conversation with one another about these fools didn't know what they had. They were sitting on a mountain of gold and we're just going to take it from them is basically the conversation they're having. And I don't mean a mountain of gold as in a ton of credits. They're not talking about monetary value. They're basically Jesus Christ, these guys got one of the most valuable things in the universe and we're going to just take it from them kind of thing. It's a candy from a baby kind of conversation they're having.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes,
I have to assume that they also have. Go ahead. I assume they also have respirators and stuff, so they likely will have them. But I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we'll definitely try. I'll take my jacket and cover up the vent on this end with it, take that off and make sure it doesn't come back our way. Best I can.
Yeah. You can take the vent off and then kind of get your jacket up and in there, leaving a hole wide enough for you to throw the grenade past it, and then kind of fill the jacket into the hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll set that up there and then motion for Gene.
I'll come over. and put the grenade in.
All right.
Are you
Everyone else
guys
get
going
ready.
to set up before, or are you going to throw the grenade and then rush out?
I would have told them to set up before.
Yeah.
All right, so who is setting up where? This is going to be, if you guys want the people you're with to do anything, you will have to tell me what you're directing them to do, because until they are armed, they're basically acting on your orders, and it's very dangerous for them to do anything, because if they get into a fight with like a gun person, they can't overwhelm them, but it'll be bad odds. So like to take down one person, you'll end up losing like 3 or 4 people. You know what I mean? Like you'll...
Yeah.
The casualties will be bad if you force them into direct conflict.
Yeah, I don't think we are. I think the 4 of us are going, and well, can I give my like sidearm or something to Tilton?
Oh, absolutely.
Would he be able to help out with that?
Tilton absolutely is willing to pitch in for sure.
Okay.
I think what I'd like to do is hand one of the unarmed people my gun, and I'm going to prepare a frag grenade. My rationale is that once this smoke grenade goes off, if I throw a grenade in there, it'll be sort of hidden by the smoke, making it harder for them to react. Like, you know, if you see something fall down, but you don't see where it rolled, it's a little hard to duck out of the way, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That definitely seems like a Rita situation.
I
Well,
guess, yeah.
we'll see how this plays out as it goes.
Okay.
So I think the lighting the fuse act here is going to be the signal you give after you throw the grenade.
Yep. I would just basically make sure that everyone is in position. Nestor, are you in position?
Nest, where do you want me?
Well, I would be. Well, I mean, you already know the plan. So where are you setting up? I guess is the question. Or how are you setting up?
Nestor does not know. He's confused. He doesn't know how to position himself. He's just like kind of standing by the door nervously.
Okay.
So
basically,
if no one tells him anything, he's probably just gonna stand behind you, Gene.
So one full room over.
And we are at a door leading into a room, or is there like a hallway leading into where it's at?
Let me paint the scene a little bit for you. So you're walking through like a service hallway. So imagine like backstage at like a warehouse or something. You know how there's like those like pathways that people put mops and buckets in, right? Okay. That kind of feeling, even though it's more space-like. There's a service hatch, which, you know, feeds into the life support system. There's probably a couple of racks in here that have like cleaning materials and disinfecting stuff like on the walls. There is the door you guys all came in here in, and then there's a door ahead that Gene has pointed out will open into a hallway that goes past the armory. So Gene says he thinks either you're sharing a wall with the armory, or at the worst, there is a hallway in between you and the armory. But he has said he knows for certain that the door at the end of this service hallway opens onto the same hallway that the armory does.
Got it.
So if Nestor wasn't sure what to do, I would basically say back up Jake.
Does anyone else with us know exactly where we're at or where the armory is? I mean, there's like quite a few people here. Just
I'm going to roll a luck check.
Yeah, let's say, yeah.
Can I roll a word on the street for it?
I, in lieu of doing a luck check, will defer to your word on the street to utilize that resource instead.
Okay. 20.
Hey.
On a 20, as you guys start, you know, Graham as the leader is probably consulting with Tilton about what your team has found and what you're planning on doing here in a moment. And as you kind of give Tilton the rundown and, you know, you hand off your sidearm and you're like, okay, we need to get ready. He goes, okay, yeah, I mean, we've we get our stuff from here all the time. He points at the wall that Gene is getting set up on to like throw the grenade, and he's like, that does lead right into like beyond that wall is the armory. I think we're sharing the wall with them. So he points at the door at the end of the hallway. He's like, I think that door opens up. There'll be a hallway, and then to our right will be the door to the armory, kind of on the same hall. There's a couple other doors on the hallway that go to a couple other storage places and you know, a break room and stuff. Hopefully there's no one in the hallway. But what we're going to want to do, and he points at the door at the end of this hallway, is like out that door, make a right, and then it will be a right to go into the armory. So we're going to have to make a U to go one room over, essentially.
Okay. So we should probably rush the door when the grenade goes out for the most confusion in case there is someone in the hallway.
I would agree.
If we check now, then that'll just alert them early.
You mean after the frag grenade, right?
It's not a frag grenade, it's a gas grenade.
No, I'm throwing a frag grenade as well. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, in the hallway or in the... Where are you throwing this frag grenade? This is the first I've heard of the frag grenade, or at least paid attention to.
I was going to use the smoke of the smoke grenade to obscure a frag grenade so that it'd be harder for them to get out of the way.
In the vent? Like, where are you throwing it?
Well, if Gene's throwing the smoke grenade down the hallway, then
I'm throwing it in the vent.
Oh, you're throwing it in the vent? Then I would throw it in the vent then. So that I guess it's slightly different.
We don't have any guarantee that they're, like, on the other side of that vent. That might just cause an explosion and no one's in it. I think it's best to save the grenades. I mean, we're risking a grenade, the smoke grenade, right, by doing this, but it is a diversion that will buy us precious time in a gunfight. Gotcha. If we're throwing a frag grenade, it's not really increasing any odds for us, necessarily, unless they happen to be standing by the vent when it's going off.
Okay, then I'll use it in the hallway.
If there's anyone there, yeah, that's a good idea.
If there's anyone there, and part of the reason I want to use the grenade also is because
big boom,
yeah. Also because I'm hoping we can get more grenades in the armory. It seems like a place where you can find grenades, so I might as well use this resource up.
Maybe there may only be bowls in the armory. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I imagine not throwing a grenade in an event that leads into an armory might help there be more grenades in that armory later, too. So, so it seems like a win-win to use the hallway, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you've seen through what the drawback would have been to doing that plan.
How'd you figure it out?
I didn't know you were throwing the grenade in the vent. I'm like, what the hell?
I might have got my wires crossed at some point. Sorry.
You're good.
All right. So, so if Jake is planning on throwing a grenade, is he taking point, or is Graham and Tilton taking point at the doorway?
Oh no, Jake. He's got the armor.
You're right. I was not
the
going to call
downside
that
of getting
out.
the armor. Yeah.
I'll take point.
Okay. All right. You all get in position. Graham, Jake, and where's Nestor? I don't think we determined where Nestor is.
I'm just kind of pulling him by the sleeve with me.
Okay.
So you're going to rush out with Graham and Tilton, basically. You're going to be fire support. Got it. So, Gene, you get set up by the vent. Jake, you're on point. You're going to be the tip of the spear going into the hallway, followed by Graham, Tilton, and Nestor. Gene, go ahead and roll for the use of that grenade.
Okay. So to get the most out of this grenade, I want to do act unseen or unheard. So to cause as little noise as possible as this grenade is going through the air vent, so that the first thing that they notice is the gas, and they're not prepared for it to appear.
Absolutely. So I have in my mind locked in what the downside is for a failure, and we know what you get on a success. So let's go for it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. 22.
Yeah.
22 is what you wanted. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Gene, you line up, and actually kind of bolstered by Tilton's assessment is like, oh no, it is the next room over, you're like, okay, I don't probably have to worry about the grenade accidentally like falling down or diverting off the path. So you can be a little bit more confident with like, okay, I don't need to like throw it to get past any drops or anything like that. I can probably like stick the grenade in, pull the pin, and like roll it in such a way that it'll go where I need it to go. Without causing like a huge clanging noise or anything like that. So you pull the pin off the grenade, you roll it down the vent, you stuff Graham's jacket to block back up the corner because you had to pull the pin. So it starts smoking, but you're able to plug the hole before it comes back into the room with you. All of you hear the grenade roll away through the vent. After a few seconds, the same vent from which you had heard the conversation go, what's that? Hey, why is that there? As other people start yelling and running.
Seems like a go time to me. Yeah.
As that happens, I'm going to say, focus on people with the gas masks. They're likely to be unaffected by the gas from the grenade.
All right,
first.
I pat push, Jake on the back.
Yeah, I ready my frag grenade.
All right. So do you push out into the hallway, Jake?
I do.
All right. You push out into the hallway. It turns out it was probably good you didn't peek early because this hallway is fairly well defended. Even without the people who are starting to pour out into the hallway from the open door, you see there are two heavily armored Noblesse Affair guards at the door who, kind of thrown off by the commotion inside, are looking for threats, which is bad for you because they're well drilled enough that when bad things start happening, they start looking for things to shoot, which means the guards outside you did not catch off guard. And as soon as they see someone they don't recognize, they're ready to attack. Jake, to throw this grenade will be dangerous.
I got body armor on. What's the worst that can happen?
A headshot.
Yeah.
Asked and answered.
Thank you, Dean. I'm going to use blow something up. I think that seems appropriate here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, you said there is difficulty. Or,
No, not difficulty. Dangerous.
Yeah, I got my wire. Okay. Here goes. 19.
On a 19, Jake, you push out in front, and though you lob an excellent grenade, unfortunately, the guards were ready for you. They start firing in your direction, but you were able to draw some of the fire away from the people coming behind you. You're going to take 3 pilot damage.
Well,
right in the body armor.
Yeah.
As you kind of like dive to the side. But those of you who come out after Jake watch, like as you all file into the hallway taking up position, as the grenade lands exactly at the opening door and explodes almost as effective as it could have been, taking out the 2 guards by the door and 2 more people who are rushing into the hallway to get away from the gas. You took out 4 people with that grenade, Jake.
Hell yeah.
Oh, guys, this is almost a good plan.
After this happens, you hear people from inside the room going, "We're being surrounded. Take up positions." Who acts next?
I think Tilton and I. Is there more people in the hallway?
No, the 2 heavily armed guards that were by the door and 2 people who were rushing out into the hallway all got taken out by a very well-placed grenade after that distraction. The door has remained open, and in fact, it looks like that door might be stuck open now because of the explosion. You have heard noises from inside shouting to take position.
All right. I'll, as Jake just got hit or grazed or whatever, I'm going to run past him with Nestor and Tilton.
Okay. Tilton will provide accuracy to whatever you do.
Okay. I'm just going to jump in and start assaulting before they have a chance to get into any kind of position if I can.
That's what Tilton's good at, so this is perfect.
Okay. So him and I will just run up to the door and start shooting into it, basically.
Absolutely.
Accurate. Rolling for a 23.
On a 23, you roll up to the door.
Started blasted.
Yeah, exactly. The two of you take position on opposite sides of the door and start taking turns, like reloading, shooting, doing like suppressive fire and things like that. You think you're holding them down, and you know, Graham, that you tagged one of them in your first barrage. So there's someone down and injured in there as you hear someone collapse to the ground. On the right side of the room, as you look into the door, you see a gas kind of billowing out of a vent that's low on the back right wall. And there is a person who is back there who is kind of like, for lack of a better word, like moving in slow motion. Everything else is still moving around them at normal speed, but they are acting like they are moving in slow motion. That they have effectively been incapacitated, and 1/4 of the room is now basically uninhabitable for anyone who's not wearing the appropriate gear, which is limiting the options of the people inside. So you have them at a disadvantage here. So now they are suppressed. Many of their guards are blown up. Graham, you think you pegged off a couple of them. There is a guy in the back who's completely incapacitated by the grenade. But there is still some resistance in there that you find out about in a surprising sort of way as you are making excellent progress. And all of a sudden, the hallway opposite the door starts getting riddled with bullets as someone with a heavy weapon from the far back of the room, where you can't quite see past the billowing gas, is just unloading ammunition into the far wall. It is going to be difficult to get past this door. What do you guys want to do next?
Okay. So he's shooting through the door.
You hear the sound of like a machine gun open up inside that room and just starts blasting through the door. Doesn't hit Graham or Tilton, but is surprising and means entering that door is suicide currently.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I was thinking about charging in with my gas mask and hiding in the smoke, but I think that's not a good idea with him.
I think your body would land in the smoke.
Yeah. It just wouldn't be moving anymore on its own.
It might have a few holes in it.
I will say, as the person who hasn't taken an action yet, Nestor, you have quote unquote initiative right now, which means you are the only person left on the team who could do something before a response takes place.
Right. Oh, like before. Okay.
The enemies might complicate the situation before you all get to act again.
Yeah, got it. But are we still dealing with the machine gun fire through the door?
The situation stands as it is. If Nestor decides not to do something right now, before any of the other players get to act, when you hesitate or do not act, the enemy does something.
Got it. Makes sense. I don't have any other grenades. I don't. I'd never had grenades actually. Okay, and all right. All Nestor's going to do right now is so he will kind of take up position with Rock and what's his name, Tilda.
Tilton.
Yeah, Tilde. Yeah, no, Tilde. Tilton.
Right by the single quote.
Mm-hmm.
Keyboard.
That's Tilton.
Tilton. So he'll get by the door, like the wall just by the door, kind of like with his back against it. While the guy's firing, he's gonna wait for like even just a minuscule break in the machine gun fire, and he's gonna pop his head out just to see if he can make out who the shooter is, where they are. And I think just trying to spot them.
All right, this is a dangerous spot check.
Okay. Let's do it. Do you guys remember if I took damage in the last session? I think when my character got re-imported, I'm at full health.
Yeah, but didn't you get patched up?
I feel like you
I
did.
know there was damage going out, but we also
Yeah.
patched someone up, I think. If anyone missed it, there was an issue with our old data in Foundry.
Yeah.
So basically what happened last session we don't have any data for.
Well, let's see what happens with this roll first. Oh, not a good roll, so fail.
Bad. Very bad.
As a failure on a dangerous check, Nestor, you fail at what you were doing and additional consequences happening. So, Nestor, you wait for what you hope is like a slight cessation in the fire to try and get eyes on where this person is attacking from so that you can at least advise. And... Yep. Actually, as you're going to do this, Tilton, you can tell out of the corner of your eye, like reaches for you to try and save you, but does not get to you in time. As you are clipped almost immediately, poking through the door. As you did not account for, that is not the only enemy left in the room. Though that is like untargeted fire that is taking up the door, there was someone waiting for someone to show themselves in the door as well. Nestor, you are going to take 3 pilot damage.
Okay.
And you are thrown back by the attack away from the door. This is like someone... You now all know there's also someone in the room who has like some sort of high accurate, high power rifle that you did not see before because all of you hear a large like pow, like a large bang sound that only happens once. And then Nestor goes flying back and then just blood everywhere. For a second, it looks like Nestor's maybe dead, but then Nestor, you reach up, and then there is like a chunk of your scalp that is gone. Like if it had been an inch over, you might be dead. But there's a line going across the top of your scalp that has been torn open by that bullet.
How's the hair?
Not great.
Oh,
you'll probably need stitches.
I was thinking to myself when I was creating the art, like, wow, Nestor has really good hair.
Had really good hair.
That's my contribution to the conversation.
I was going to say, so Todd, how does Nestor look with an eye patch?
Well, I'll peek out again, and then we'll find out.
All right. What do you all do in response?
I believe you have initiative now.
So that is more that if anyone doesn't do a thing, it's specifically a prohibition against hesitating or not acting. If Nestor had chosen not to do something, I would do something to complicate the situation, because that gives the enemies a chance to do something as someone hesitates. It's like taking initiative, right? Someone hesitates, the enemies get to do something. So it's now just back to whoever has a good idea.
Who picked up the air breathing thing, Nestor?
Yeah.
All right. I would like to. I don't even know if you want me to roll for this, but I'd like to just pull Nestor out of the way. Grab the air thing off of him, and throw it back to the hallway towards Jean. And tell Jean use the vent.
Yep.
Oh.
He would throw it back, and I would immediately know what he meant to do. Know what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jean, it is not hard to get this on now that it's been detached from a person. You quickly see where, you strap it around your arms. There's like a little clasp that you click that like you tighten the straps so that it's tight against your back. And then, there's like a hose with a breathing mask attached.
Okay, so I would like to do this in 2 parts. I would like to use get somewhere quickly to get through the vent, purposefully making noise, and then use act unseen or unheard so that when I get out of the vent, to use the smoke as cover. Essentially distracting them and then trying to get the fuck out of the way.
I'm going to treat the get somewhere quickly as a setup action then. So you're going to roll that as a non-dangerous setup check first.
Okay. So let's see how quickly I get through the vent. 19.
On a success, you get somewhere quickly. You are able to do as you wanted to, which is get through the vent quick enough to make a difference before something else happens. Yeah. You get to the end of the vent, but you can tell, even with decreased vision and sight lines, you can tell even over the din of the bullets, there is something moving ahead of you. As the vent actually drops down a little bit before it comes into this room, and as you get low enough to try and hear what's going on, you're a little bit like contorted and crunched up in here. Before you're ready to pop out, there is something like just outside this vent that is moving oddly.
Okay. I don't know about I guess Gene doesn't know about the guy who was acting weirdly. He may have heard him, but he doesn't know if that's the same guy.
You have not seen into the room. That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll my act unseen or unheard to use the smoke as cover. Whether the other 2 heard me, they probably did, because I wasn't trying to hide that I was moving through the vent, but
Because your setup check succeeded, this is going to be only a difficult roll and not a dangerous roll.
So with difficulty.
Yes.
Okay. So inaccurate. And a 17.
A 17 is still a resounding success as you pop the grate open and kind of shimmy out into the area. You drop low in the mist, trusting in the enemy's gear to protect you from the slow motion. In the haze that you find yourself in, you sense someone flailing about, but in an odd tempo. There is someone else in this mist with you, because the mist is like expanding as the both of you are in it. There's someone else moving erratically but slowly in the mist nearby. And in fact, you thank your lucky stars in thinking, because this guy is flailing around in there with you, it is actually disguising your movements better, because someone could discount it as like, oh, that's our guy that we saw get hit by the gas. So they're not thinking that one of you is in there. So Gene, you pretty confidently believe you're hidden in here.
Okay. So one of my gear is data plating. Does anyone else have data plating that I can basically send a quick message to give them the sit rep of the room that I can see?
I do.
Okay, so I would send Nestor a very quick, this is what is
Jake.
going on.
Excuse me?
Not Nestor, I'm sorry, Jake.
Yeah.
Nestor is currently dealing with a gunshot wound to the face.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jake. You now have the general sit rep of the room.
Okay, yeah, I'll pass this along to everyone else.
Quietly, so that they don't... Jake yells, they're on the left, on the right!
Gene's in there, but they don't know.
All right, with Gene getting in there, getting low, getting hidden, he transmits some information back to Jake about what he can tell that's in the room and where things are. You know now that there are 2 heavily armored elite guards in here, both with gas masks. They pulled them up as kind of like an emergency thing when the gas started pouring in. They have their unexpended gas grenades themselves. But one of them is in the back with like just sitting near where the heavy ammo is, just firing suppressive fire at the door with a light machine gun. There is also another person who Gene is able to pinpoint because they don't know he's there, kind of tucked back in behind where another person collapsed after they got shot in the initial barrage. He is using the presence of that other dead body to hide his presence, and he is just taking pot shots with a high caliber rifle if anyone shows themselves. So there appears to be 2 elite guards left in here, both with unique weapons, and the flailing man in the gas.
And you now have their general position for whatever it is that you want to do.
Staring contest.
I mean, arguably they'll run out of bullets eventually, right?
I hope not. We need those bullets.
Oh.
They are in the armory.
He is using the bullets of the armor, yes.
That seems important, yes.
Yeah,
a
I
distraction.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else we can really do with the kind of suppressing fire that we have on us at the moment.
Maybe
with
we could throw something in there. They might think it's a grenade for a second, and that could give us the window to take up position.
That's a thought. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a real it just needs to be grenade-like.
Yes.
I mean, you do have multiple dead bodies out there. Have you checked their bodies?
Let's
yeah, that is a
see.
good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually.
How about them?
Let me roll a luck check. No. All of them and their gear has been ruined by the grenade that killed them.
Well, you have
use
multiple dead
one.
bodies out there as a shield.
I was just gonna say we could use them as a shield, body shield.
That's a good point. I mean, if they can do it, we can do it too.
I feel like maybe a large caliber heavy machine gun probably shoot through a couple bodies.
Yeah. We gotta really line them up and conga our way in if this is our plan, and I don't feel like that's a good idea.
Cha!
Instead of a cha, it's a bang.
I mean, I think our best course of action is Gene shoots, and then we shoot with Gene after they stop suppressing us.
Yeah, I mean, in the very
least,
least,
if you can take out the machine gun guy, we have a chance. Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Basically, same thing. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
eventually, he has to reload or stop. So look for that window.
Right. Since you have to wait for Gene to have the opportunity to do something, I am going to force a check. Jean, as you struggle to stay hidden within the gas in this room, I am going to need you to make a not getting hit by the flailing man as he bumbles around in the gas, because you're afraid that will give away your position.
I don't want to keep on relying on act unseen or unheard because that's boring. Can I do read a situation?
Yeah, that's a way to do this. You just have to be able to narrate what happens if you succeed.
Okay. 11. Still pass.
All right. On an 11, how do you use read a situation to stay unbumped into?
So I see the guy kind of just flailing around, and I just kind of do this slow circle around him. Because he's like moving in slow motion, so he'll kind of like move towards me, and I'll kind of move back, and then he'll move towards me, and you just see this kind of like weird me doing this circle around him slowly, so it kind of like from the outside, they can't really tell what's going on. They just see a bumbling guy kind of like following something.
And the successful read a situation partially plays into your patience here, too, because there are some points where it's like, oh, you could have tried to bolt past him, but then he starts to because here's the thing. He might think he's moving in slow motion because the grenade just affects your sense of things. It doesn't affect reality, right? Yeah. So every once in a while, he'll be moving in slow motion in a direction, but gravity still affects him the same way. So he'll go off balance. And as he's trying to catch himself as he moves off balance, he moves in like weird, unexpected ways. So you just have to like wait and watch how he moves. And it's like, okay, now I can slowly move past him and stuff like that. So Jean, you are in position. You know where the other two people are in the room. Attacking either one of them will reveal your location to the other, and they will do something about it. So this will be a dangerous check.
Okay. So my goal is, let's see. I'm going to get shot at no matter which one. So I want to shoot at the one who I think, because Jean is not sure he's going to be able to take them out if they're heavily armored, correct?
They're both heavily armored, yes.
So my goal would be to aim for the one who is closest to the gas and aim to basically shoot at the hose with the gas mask so that they're affected by the gas.
That is the one that is holding down the light machine gun. He is basically hiding in the gas, and he doesn't really need to see through the gas to to aim at the door, right? So he is literally hiding in the gas in the back of the room, just firing at the open door with the gun. So that is the one who is in the gas.
I am going to use a spot check for this to spot the detail through the gas to try and aim for like the base. Well, to basically aim for the tube. I don't need to aim at the base of the gas mask. I just need to put a hole in it so that it's no longer effective.
So because this is also an accuracy kind of thing, a spot check will work here, but does not account for your aim. So I'm adding difficulty to the check.
Okay. Yeah, because
it'll definitely help. You can add your bonus, but this will be a difficult shot, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, because all I really have are act unseen or unheard, get somewhere quickly, read a situation, and spot. Yeah, and
you're not a commando, and it is what it is. You have a thing that will help you with this, but it is going to be hard.
Yeah. All right. So inaccurate. I've accepted the danger.
As I'm waiting for Jean to do this shot, I am preparing to move as soon as he goes as well, and the light machine gun stops if it does.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll flash to you as soon as we resolve the roll then.
I mean, no matter what, the light machine gun is be pointing at something else. Pass or fail. All right, here we go. 12.
Okay, success with consequences.
Here's the great thing. Here's the great thing. A 12 is success. Here's the bad thing. It was a dangerous check.
I know.
Jean, you aim up and you draw down on the light machine gun guy, and you're like, okay, that tube real small, but if I can push far enough to the back of the room, I think I can aim at the actual unit on his back. that is a larger target that will be easier to hit.
Yeah.
So you line up on it. But unfortunately, when you hit, because you do hit, and for a moment you're like, oh, yes, it's not actually the rifle guy who turns and fires at you. Because the gas grenade takes a couple of seconds to like take effect, as the man with the light machine gun realizes that the gas is starting to fill the tube instead of normal clean air, he sweeps in your direction from where he got attacked from. The bullets tear through the man who's moving in slow motion, killing him instantly as he falls to the ground and sweeps past your position. He doesn't know exactly where you are, Gene, but a light machine gun just like trailed past your position in the gas. You are going to take 4 pilot damage.
Ow.
As you are hit multiple times.
Woof.
This probably knocks you down. Like this is a lot for a person to take.
Yeah.
But as soon as those bullets sweep away from the door, Graham, you notice, like it is apparent instantly that something has happened. You hear one thing of gunfire go off, and the light machine gun sweeps in another direction.
As it goes in, I know where I shot that last guy, and I know that there's a guy with some sort of rifle, some sort of DMR or something, right?
Yep, exactly.
So I'm going to start either shooting at him or shooting him, pinning him down now as Tilton and I will push in.
Because of the distraction Gene made at great personal risk, this is not dangerous because the marksman in the room has tried to determine where the threat was in the room to take it out. So you're going to get 1 assisted check against the marksman before he can react. So you're going to have accuracy added from Tilton helping you. And this is not dangerous.
Cool. Rolled as a 23.
Hey, even if it was dangerous, it would have been fine. Graham, you finish the fight. You and Tilton do like the breach and clear kind of thing, where you both sweep in and kind of like check corners, like fire at the things. Narrate how this goes for Rock. How does Rock finish this fight?
So as that happens, as the machine gun sweeps away, Rock's going to step in and start firing, solely focused on what I assume is like a turned over table or something that he's around, where his buddy got, clipped or whatever. Shooting at the table, and then for a split second I stop shooting and Tilton starts shooting at it instead as I run up and jump over the table and shoot down at him, and then use that cover to then shoot at the guy in the machine gun. Assuming there's a better line of sight on it from there. And they're probably covering each other. So
by the time you take out the marksman, it seems the gas has taken hold of the machine gunner. You have position on him, and at that point it's just mopping up. Tilton draws attention. You actually see, as you vault over the table to take the final shot on the marksman, he was getting ready to come out the side of the table to fire on Tilton as you come over top and take him out. The last 2 combatants in this room lie dead.
Right after you do that, Nestor was gathering up his courage. He runs in with his gun raised, and he's like, ah! And then just stops in the middle of the room. It's like, oh, they're gone.
I'll just come up from behind, pat you on the shoulder, and like, well, save it for next time.
You just hear Gene in the back, Gene in the distance. You can do it next time, Nestor.
I'll immediately start going through the supplies.
I'll go check on Gene, make sure he's okay.
Gene and Nestor are bleeding badly.
I'm going to.
But Nestor, here's the funny thing: Gene is more injured. Nestor looks more injured because Nestor took a bad gouge across his scalp, which bleeds a lot. Head injuries bleed a lot. So Nestor, you look horrible. Your hair is probably matted down and filled with blood and stuff like that. You look like a mess. You look like you've crawled out of a trench, right? Gene is lying on the ground. His admittedly light uniform armor you guys got at the beginning is like pierced through. You can see like 3 growing red patches along his chest.
I will check him out and I'll say I have a patch here for you.
Oh, good. Thank you. Because I'm only at 2 HP.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I said I'm not as bad as I look. I think I just need to wrap up my head. And he uses the patch on you.
Cool.
So you get half your maximum HP back.
It's a round down, right?
I forget if we round down or up.
I think everything is round down in this system.
Yeah, I think everything is round down in the system. All right, cool.
I'm
above half health.
I am going to give during the exchange of like gear as we're like going through stuff and everything. I'm going to hand my other patch to Nestor. It's up to you if you want to use it or not, or what you need, but you just have my patch.
In Lancer, the second golden roll is always round up to the nearest whole number. That's why when you do 0.5 damage, you do 1 damage.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't remember if it was up or down.
I wanted to double check that I was remembering that correctly.
Do you, when it says restore half your maximum HP, are you going up to half your maximum HP, or are you adding half your maximum?
You're adding.
You're adding half of your HP to your HP.
Okay. Makes sense.
Tilton moves in. He actually comes over to check on Gene and Nestor to make sure the two of you are okay.
I look at Tilton and I go, all right, I took some bullets. Next up is your group. At least you're armed now.
You guys cleared the way. You guys do good work. I thought you were just good at being jockeys.
Hey, sometimes knowing your way around and being able to sneak through can be a useful skill.
I'd say we did pretty good for ourselves. I mean, we got you all this shit.
You guys did great. All right. Take care of yourselves. We'll start picking up the pace from here. Tilton heads out to the door, and he starts pulling in like his like subgroup leaders, and he starts like basically setting up like allocation for the various people to make sure that he can basically thinly spread all of the armory's gear as effectively as possible across everyone who is in his squad.
Is there any gear on the soldiers we killed that we can collect, like any body armor or grenades or shit?
The 2 heavily armed people in this room, the marksman and the heavy machine gunner, or the light machine gunner, will have the same kind of armor Jake looted from the last group. So if 2 more members of the team wanted to, they could also get the same equipment I gave Jake. Which is basically a light heart suit equivalent in terms of like it basically adds 3 HP to your HP max.
I'd say the bleeding people should probably get armor.
Okay.
The people who were just recently bled. I know they just got patched, but still.
You are welcome to take the weapons that dropped, which is basically I think it's called a heavy signature.
Probably, yeah. That's the machine gun, I think.
Yeah, let me look at it to double check. Pilot weapon. Yes, it would be a heavy signature. Yeah, that's what the machine gun is. So there's a heavy signature on the machine gunner. And then there is a nope, it is not that. You know what? We're gonna say that the guy with the rifle was using an anti-armor signature weapon.
An anti-armor signature. Well, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
like my kind of gun.
Yeah, if you take an anti-armor signature weapon on a mission, you cannot have any other pilot weapons. It is armor piercing and limited to, which means you can only use it twice before a full repair. And it is loading. You have to load it between each attack. It is considered reliable too. So in narrative play, you could easily take down people in armor with a single shot of this gun. But it is heavy and unwieldy. Like, this guy was set up using it. And when you take a look at it, Graham, it is like you think if you deployed the bipod legs at the front of this rifle and set up somewhere, you could like significantly damage a mech with this kind of weapon. You all of a sudden think that Nestor not being dead is a miracle.
Tilton did his job. He kept Nestor from dying.
Yeah, he tried to keep me back, which moved me just enough that I didn't.
Your head didn't get taken off.
Yeah.
All right. So I will take the body armor, and I would like to, if they have any extras of the Noblesse Affairs riot grenades, I would like to take, I don't know, take what they have and spread them around because they proved useful.
So here's the additional equipment you'll have access to. There are 4 gas grenades, 2 on each of the heavily armed masked people, the marksman and the machine gunner.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, because you have taken the armory, everyone on the team, even after handing out basically gear to all of Tilton's group to the point where you're happy with their loadout, may replenish 1 use of any limited piece of gear you have on you.
Oh, good. I was going to ask about that.
So every party member can replenish 1 use of a limited piece of gear.
All right.
Yay.
I'm going to replenish my patch because that seems useful, and I'm going to take 2 of the riot grenades.
Okay.
I will replenish my patch as well. And actually, Rock, if you just want to take your patch back.
Okay.
Yeah,
then I'll replenish one of my frag grenades.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a frag grenade.
Absolutely.
And I would give the other 2 riot grenades to Nestor, because I figured he would probably know how to use them effectively.
Maybe Tilton should have one.
Okay, I'll give one to Nestor
Tilton
and one
will
to Tilton.
gladly take one. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's seen how effective they are, whether or not, even against people with gas masks, they can be used for great cover as well, right?
Do you guys think I should take this rifle?
You would have to leave your other gear behind if you take it.
My other weapons, right? Not limited gear like patch and frag grenades, right?
Ooh, actually, I think there's a better weapon I can model this after. Let's call this instead of a heavy, or not heavy. Instead of calling this the AP thing, let's call this a precision rifle. That makes way more sense. So here's how the precision rifle works. It is ordnance, which means that when used in narrative play, you have to be set up to fire it. Like, you have to set up to fire it. And obviously, if you ever use it in mech combat, you have to fire it before you move. And it is accurate. So whenever you roll a action that uses this rifle, you get to add accuracy to it.
Okay.
So it is just a very accurate weapon, but you have to be set up to fire it.
This is the precision rifle?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. It's in the pilot items. It's called the Madrigal precision rifle, but we're just going to make this a normal precision rifle.
Yeah. Is there anything else I need to know about it? It just takes up one of my weapon slots, or the medium one?
Yeah, you can only ever carry 2 weapons, so you'll have to drop 1 weapon to take it.
Well, I already gave Tilton my pistol, so
yeah, so you can just replace it with this.
Replace it with that. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
That's
makes
awesome.
sense.
Yeah. I'm happy for that. Yeah, I mean, this is like a decent weapon. Period.
This is something you guys don't often have access to. Like, this legitimately could be something you keep. Like, that you keep on you going forward.
Yeah, I was going to ask that later. Yeah. I'm like,
it is considered exotic gear, quote unquote, which means you can't just buy it from the license system. You have to find it somewhere. So you just did that.
Damn, who put this very nice gun in a chest in a random dungeon? Well, shit.
And when I opened the chest, why did light shine out from the side of it? And it opened with great fanfare.
Why is Ron pulling it over his head?
I'm going to call it the Nestor Barber.
Check out my cool new reverse mohawk.
So every couple months you have to get a new...
It is probably not straight down the middle of your head, Nestor. I imagine it's like, you got grazed along one side. You can determine how you look. All I want you to know is it bled a lot and your hair looks a fucking mess. You will not be able to sneak like this. If anyone sees you, if they believe you're on their team, they'll be like, you should be in an infirmary. And otherwise, they won't believe you're on their team.
At this point, with everything that's the gear that we've changed, I'm not sure we'd be able to trick anybody into believing we're on their team.
We might have moved
that's not really the point anymore.
Yeah, you have ransacked this armory. Everything's gone. Tilton has completely handed out everything to his team. They're still even a little short, but that's because he has a lot of people. This one armory room didn't have enough gear in it, but he is able to set up teams. He sends basically a couple people to be like unarmed support with each team, so that like, hey, if you guys scavenge more weapons on the way, you'll be even better off. You know what I mean?
Splitting them up and everything.
Yeah. And grimly, but this is how Tilton thinks, also people to pick up the guns if other people in the team die, right? It's like, well, if your friend dies, pick up his rifle and keep going. But yeah, he will come back in after consulting with his team, is like, all right, we feel ready, we feel good. Let's figure out how do we take them down.
I would like to talk to Torsay on the side if I can.
Absolutely.
And be like, hey, look, we've spent a lot of time on the Amethyst, and I know what you're like to do. Have you set up any kind of backdoors that you haven't told people about?
She looks around to make sure no one else is overhearing this conversation. And then to you says, the answer's not no.
Yeah. Is it enough to be useful for us here, or do we need to find a command station somewhere? Because we need intel desperately.
Even if I get to like a normal terminal, I can probably see some of the movements around the ship and like monitor like commands being given. So I'd be able to warn you if like an alarm is going off or if people are being sent to a specific location, if that's logged in the computer.
But they know to look for a normal terminal. They won't know to look for a back door, right? You've hidden them.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you get me somewhere where I can use a thing generally, I can give you basic information. If you get me somewhere where maybe I have some privileges set aside for myself, I could probably do more.
Well, we need more. Where would that be?
Any major engineering hub should have a terminal I can use my admin credentials on. So any of the major systems. So I'll remind you, these are also the systems that are anchored on the outside. So, like If you get her to sensors, engines, weapons, life support, shields, or question mark, she would be able to log in as an admin at any one of those. Otherwise, a command center or auxiliary command center.
Tilton, you're aware of the situation. Are you sending anyone else to Shields?
We could if you think they need it. As a reminder, you do have comms with Cassius. You haven't needed to use them, and I'm not saying use them, but if you want to talk to Cassius at any point, you can use it. This is not me trying to trick you. Mm-hmm. Note as a warning, maybe they are listening for comm chatter. Mm-hmm. That is a possibility. I'm not telling you to do this either way. I just couldn't remember if you remembered that was a thing you have.
It's somewhere in between trying to lay low and also we're kind of loud, so I'm trying to decide what the best option is. Because
did you handed out comms to Tilton as well, right?
Yeah, we brought like extra comm stuff to hand out to them, is my understanding.
Because I think Tilton has one, and he gave his second in command one, who he already sent to Shields, like that team you set up earlier. So right now, Tilton and his second command are on team comms as well, if you need to talk to them.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I will message Cass then.
This is Cass. Go.
Are you loud?
We have effectively stayed under detection. I was able to use my influence to order everyone in this room out because they didn't realize anything was going on yet. And I just kind of set up in here and locked the doors. I don't think that ruse is going to last for very long. And I did get the lovely shipment of defenders here, though. They're here looking at me real suspiciously right now. But we are effectively holding shields. If they come back, this ruse will not hold, and we'll need to start defending shields.
All right. You're going to get another shipment soon with care package.
Let me ask you this. How's it going?
Scrapes, bruises, bullet holes in some people. No casualties yet on our side. We took the armory. And
That's great.
I don't know how much longer we have before this beehive gets buzzing.
Not long. Do you want me to stay in Shields and hold this, or do you want me to make my way in your direction in case you need my help towards the fore of the ship?
Are they in opposite directions? Like,
yeah, Shields is like mid-back ship. It's like, imagine if like because it's where the shield station for the ship is set up. It's like very near the middle of the ship. You guys are making your way from the hangar area towards the front of the ship where the bridge is.
And is the hangar on the back or the sides?
It's on the sides.
Sides, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you guys landed in the side, and you guys are working your way forward. He worked his way directly into the middle of the ship from there, where you landed. And he'll just say, the reason I ask is because I will defer to how you want to do this, but there might be some people who I can still sway. I can't guarantee it, but there's going to be scores of people on that bridge, and even a little bit of confusion might help you. If you don't want that, I understand, but I'm offering.
I'm going to send a replacement to you with a squad. That squad will then leave with you once they arrive, and you can try to meet us. Let's say with where they're keeping you or Syl.
All right. I'll once your second team gets here, I'll head in that direction.
All right. Tilton, we've got to get. I'll cut off communications with him.
Okay.
Tilton, we've got to get Torsay to Shields. And then can you send a team to escort her, and then they can bring Cass with us to meet up with us later.
Did you, I forget, have you explained the Cass situation to Tilton?
I will now if I hadn't. I don't remember. I'm going to be honest. I think I did. I do think I mentioned, Cass told us.
I think you did. I think when you first released him, you went over this.
I believe so. Yeah.
So he'll go, okay. What kind of escort should this be for Cass? Are we looking for a
Look, I wouldn't turn my safeties on around him, but he is working with us, and he is the reason that we have any hold right now here. So I'm not going to tell your men to not be antsy around him, but for the moment, he's helping.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to take up position here. This is a fairly defendable area, and start sending my teams out. I can send out 3 at-strength teams right now, and hold back enough to provide backup if needed. He's basically asking you, what 3 things do you think his teams would best be able to support with right now? I'll give you some options in case something doesn't come to mind immediately. This is already taking into account escorting Torsay to Shields and then bringing Cass back. He can do that without decrementing these teams. You can say, send 1 team with you guys, in which case you'll have support and backup from a team. You could say, send a team to go liberate another team, in which case you can send them out to go after another one of the squads who is in a place in the ship you hadn't planned on going. You can try to send one of his teams to take over one of the primary systems, right? Like sensors, engines, weapons. Like you could tell him, hey, go take over one of those systems or something like that. Like, I cannot guarantee success for any team sent out on its own to do something, but it gives you an opportunity to succeed at something without having to handle it yourself.
How much control in universe with these ships do we have over things like life support? If they have life support control, can they cut off areas of the ship, or is it more of an all or nothing kind of thing?
It is a complicated process to do that, because life support has so many redundancies and backups built into it that it is like trying as hard as it can to not accidentally suffocate all the people on the ship, right?
So I think that's unlikely in a quick situation that we're going to be attacked with it then.
You could do it with great skill. For example, I think someone like Astro could pull it off.
Astro can pull anything off.
but he is a hacking based main character player, right? He's that kind of situation. A superstar could pull it off. I mean, so, let me put it this way. There's a team on this ship who are the engineers team. They might be able to pull that off for you if you release them.
Okay, I mean, I want to, but limited resources. And you said we have 3 on top of the team to drop off and pick up Cass.
1 team is taking Torsay and then bringing back Cass. That's accounted for. You have 3 more teams that he has at his command, and this is abstracted because he's holding back enough people to hold this position and have enough people to do replacements and cover any people who go down and stuff like that. So he knows what he's doing. He's just asking you what 3 things can he help with? Okay.
If you guys have any input, let me know, but here's my idea. We send 1 team to sensors, cutting off the most amount of information they're going to get possible. We send 1 team towards Cato Fringe to get their the other flying team up and ready, because very soon we're going to need to be going out and taking care of those spikes, and we could use help with that. We're going to Uersil and be meeting with that other team later. So that leaves us with one more team to go to either a major systems or we could take the tech specialists. Nico, is it Nico?
Andrade? Let me
Andrade
pull it up
Nico, is
here.
it?
It is Andrade Nico. Yeah.
Yeah. Or we could either send a team to get them out or to another major system. If anyone has any thoughts.
I think that makes sense. I'm just reviewing all the systems in my notes because there were a number of them, if I recall.
Main ones: engine, life support, sensors. We have shields. Weapons would be ship weapons, not armory, I assume.
Ship weapons include advanced point defense, anti-fighter, bomber, turret mesh, as well as complex calculation system for the ship's main weapons.
That seems important.
The engines can't jump with the spikes, so we do need to get it, but we can send maybe Tilton there later once everything else gets on head, or maybe we'll send the Spec Ops team there. So
can we
weapons and sensors? Yeah.
If we remove the spikes, could we jump if we had engineering?
Well, it depends on the spikes that we've removed and how much of a risk we want to have when we do it. Because if a spike is in when we try to jump, consider that system gone.
More what I'm asking is what do we need to actually initiate a jump? Do we need to have control of the bridge? Would it be possible?
I can answer this for you. Yep.
Okay.
So, 1, you're correct. You need control of the bridge. You cannot initiate a jump except from the bridge. 2, the engines need to be working.
So not
generally.
Spiked and likely taken over by us.
Yes, you need engines to be working and you need the bridge. Those are the minimum requirements for escaping. Is you need to have engines working and control the bridge.
Got it.
But that would destroy like 4 other systems if you did that.
Got it.
Taking sensors now gives us the most benefit now on foot. We don't need to even remove the spike on sensors if we get to that point, but we can still control sensors on the inside and leave that if we had to. But getting rid of weapons, getting Kato Fringe, and getting the sensors now leaves us the best opportunity to get all of the spikes out later, I think. And then after we get Still, ideally, we're heading to the bridge after that with them. Yeah.
Where are we ourselves going to go?
No, we're going to Still, and we're going to meet up with the team that's dropping off Torsay and picking up Cass. And if we get it done before them, great. And then if we have to wait for them or something, that sucks, but it is what it is.
All right, so did you determine what the third team was going to be for?
I think weapon systems, we should prepare to have the best time possible when we're outside getting those spikes off, because that's important, I think.
All right,
that's my thought. What do you guys think?
I think so. I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I worry about is if they know what we're doing, and they still have engineering, they may try to shut down the engines. So we may need to eventually take engineering as well.
That can be something that happens while we're suited up and out taking care of the spikes. There are, once theoretically all the teams succeed, right? When they succeed, they can then do something else, right? I'm just thinking of what gives us the most speed and takes out the most risks right now.
I think the priorities make sense.
Okay.
Just to confirm something, Bob, since it's been a little bit of time, out of the sections take control over? There was that question mark area.
Question mark. You missed one.
Oh, my mistake. Question mark 4. How is that acceptable?
I guess. Kind of
like
defeats
it.
the purpose.
Fine. Then I'm gonna spend 5 seconds saying the name every time.
As is intended.
Fair enough. So the reason it's called question mark is because we don't actually know what it does.
It is an advanced technological system that is in a prototype state on this ship, because the ship was in the process of being built as it was stolen.
Right.
All of these systems, let me put it this way. Every system is very advanced in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be worth saving, because you don't know if you're ever going to be able to get it back to that level of advanced again if you ruin it. You can probably guess what something like weapons might do.
Right.
All I'm saying is you don't know what question marks does. Question mark is another advanced system that exists on the ship. You have less information about how it could be useful.
Yeah, there was that comment made by the guards earlier that said that we were sitting on gold or something, that we didn't know what we were missing. And I'm wondering if that's referring to question mark. And it's not, I don't think it's a priority, but I just think that, like, maybe if it comes up in conversation while we're doing this, like, we hear the guards talking more about it, it might be good to find out what exactly that is, because it may end up being a priority depending on what it is. I don't think we should waste time trying to find that out, though. Just, keep eyes and ears open.
All right, keep eyes and ears open for any time the guards specifically ask about anything with multiple question marks. Got it.
Yeah,
I'm sure they will use that exact word in conversation.
If it's 3 or 5, we don't care about. Ask before.
You have to wait to hear them mention a question mark, and then wait for 3 subsequent question marks to make sure.
But 5 is too long, and we've already wasted time.
Right out. All right. It sounds like you all have a plan.
Just one other thing I wanted to ask. Is it the shooter guy, not the machine gun guy, the rifle guy, is his breathing apparatus still in working condition?
Because you thought to check for it, yes, it is.
Okay. We should take this as well, or maybe one of the other teams should use it. Tilton, can you make use of this?
I mean, if I'm going to have a couple of these grenades, I'd like to have it on me, sure.
And here, we already have one that Jean is using. You should take the other.
Tilton is going to gear up with one of the gas suits, or the gas apparatus. Anti-gas apparatus, I suppose.
All right, great.
All right. Well, this sounds like a good point to end this episode. You have a plan, and we're going to see how that plan spins out next time. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.